DJOYtech.com.
Hi, this is Gene with Joybeat, and I'm going to be talking about the basics of Ableton Live. The first thing we should talk about is, what is Ableton Live? Now, Ableton Live is a digital audio workstation that lets you get sounds and MIDI into your computer, lets you affect them, and create songs of your liking. So Ableton's broken down in a couple different ways, but the first way I want to show you is the tracks section. So what we have here on the right is the audio track, and that's the first type of track I want to talk about. Now, what an audio track is it's basically pre-recorded audio that's been brought into Ableton Live, and you can bring it in to fit into your arrangement. You can do so by warping it, looping it, or affecting it in any way possible. What I have here is a little drum track, and I'm just going to play it for you just so you can get a sense of what it sounds like. And so I have brought that audio track in, and the next thing I want to talk about is a MIDI track. Now, what a MIDI track is it's a way to get notes to tell a certain synthesizer in Ableton to play certain sounds. So what I have here behind me is a little MIDI controller, and I'm just going to go ahead and turn that on. And I can play notes in here. I can play notes into Ableton Live, record them, and then layer them on top of my drum track. Now, what I've done here is actually recorded a couple notes so you can hear what it sounds like when I've already recorded notes over the drum track that I have playing. Okay, so now you hear the little synth line that I have going on top of the drum track, and you're starting to hear the song being created. The next type of track I'd like to talk about is the return track. Now, what a return track is actually, a return track is actually one half of what is known as a send and return. So what a send and return is it's a way to get sound to an effects processor, affect that sound, and then send it back to the original track affected. So what I've done is I've set up a reverb right here at the bottom, and I've made a couple tweaks to the settings of the reverb to get it to sound the way I want it. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to then bring that reverb into the track I want to have affected. And what I want to have affected is this drum track. So the way you get to turn that reverb on is this little button or knob right here, and you can raise or lower it to get the amount of effect that you're looking for. So what we're going to do is go to the beginning of the song, and I'm going to start adjusting this reverb so you can hear what it sounds like over the song. And if you notice, there's a little bit of tail at the end, and that was the reverb carrying out there. So that's a way to get sounds in and out of your computer, to affect them with MIDI and to affect them with actually audio effects using the track system that we have here. The next thing I want to talk about is the library. Now, the key to getting songs done in Ableton Live is to stay organized. And the way that you stay organized is knowing where everything is on your computer. And Ableton's made that very, very easy. What they have here is this section called Places. And with Places, what you can do is set the places you go on your computer most frequently so you can access them very quickly. So what I've found is that with my sample library, I like to use them a lot and go to them very quickly. So what I can do is add a folder right down here to my Places section, and I can just hit Add Folder. I then select this Black Octopus Leviathan, and basically I can select that, hit Open, and it then adds it to my Places so I can access that library very quickly. I can't say enough that this is very, very important to your workflow. And the most important part about getting songs done is actually finishing them. And the way that you finish them is by working very quickly. So let this Places section revamp your whole workflow so you can access your sounds very quickly.
DJOYtech.com.